Welcome to this episode of Chats with Dr. Ken. Marian University is a thriving national doctoral university. We have done so many amazing things and garnered a lot of media attention. Very few things have garnered as much media attention as the hiring of our new men's basketball coach, Coach Pat Knight. We're excited to talk to him. Let's chat. We are here with our new men's basketball coach, Pat Knight, and we're really excited about what he's going to do for Marian University this year. So, Coach Pat Knight, thank you very much for taking the job and taking on this tremendous responsibility.
Well, I want to thank you for hiring me. You know, it's good to be back. You know, I've been out of it for 10 years. And just to get back into coaching, people ask me what it's like being back. I feel alive again. And so I really got to thank you for I appreciate you being nice, but appreciate you hiring me also.
Absolutely. Well, we know you're going to do great things here for our student athletes. So first question I like to ask is something a little icebreaker question, a little fun question. So Steve Downing, you're very close to Steve Downing for a long time. So what is the favorite juicy Steve Downing story that you can share?
Well, so Steve, one of the greatest players I ever played at IU, my dad's first All-American. And so, you hear these stories. Steve never really wants to tell the story, so you have to hear them from the past players, that played with him. And so there was a story where Steve got so upset with my dad that he just left practice in his practice gear, walked to his apartment in his practice gear, high tops, and just left practice. Well, all of a sudden there's a banging at the door. Coach went over to the apartment, and rumor is that Coach is banging on the door, let me in, and Steve's sitting there, no, I'm not going to let you in. And Coach kicked in the door and got Steve to come back to practice. So that's coming from some pretty reliable sources. Now, Steve may deny it, but he's probably the only player I know that had the guts enough to just walk out in practice, not change clothes, but then Coach did bring him back to practice.
Unbelievable story. Really appreciate sharing that. I don't think Steve's going to deny that.
Yeah, I think he'll plead the fifth on that one.
What was it about Marian that led you to choose us?
First class academics and then first class sports. I'd really like to make a difference in a kid's life, not just make him a better basketball player, but I'd help him become a man, just like what my dad taught me. So the one day when Steve was down there, he was all his energy about the school. And I was like, hey, your coaches move on because they do really good jobs and they always have a chance to move on. I was like, and Coach Hetty had done a great job, and you see his record. And so I was like, hey, if he ever goes to a bigger school or anything, I'd think about coming out of retirement. And Steve was like, why would you want to leave the NBA? I'm like, Steve, I'm just telling you, I think your school is special, and I want to get back to Indiana, but it can't just be any place. It'd be a Marian. Just off the cuff, never said anything. And then lo and behold, end of the season, Coach Hetty had the opportunity to go back to his alma mater. Steve called me, and it was like a really, I'm not trying to be phony here, it was like a dream come true.
So what is it about your coaching style that we can look forward to this year?
Probably new old school. I think the day of treating everybody the same are gone. So I call it really adaptability, new old school, because you still need the discipline. You still have to teach the fundamentals, but every kid's different. And I'm kind of glad I sat out 10 years because it's changed, and I think that really is more attuned to my personality. I didn't come here to lose. So we want to get over the hump. We have not won a conference championship for 20 years. That's our main goal, is we want to be the elite of the Crossroads.
That's great. I really appreciate the commitment to winning. We do love winning. We're not going to apologize for it. And by the way, I do have 4 years of eligibility left if you need it.
If you can defend, I don't need you to score.
I can foul.
We got 5 fouls to give. Come on out. 3 o'clock today.
I'll be there.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Pat. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Chats with Dr. Ken. Until next time.